It's an exciting time to be part of the Crossroads District and the multiplication processes that are happening, from what's happening in South Bend to Paradox in Westfield to Rethink that's in Maryville to what's happening in Muncie, and all the different places that God is beginning to bring people and call people. And to realize that it's about churches that are being a part and jumping on mission to be able to help. Like with Rethink, what we have going on right now is we're sharing worship leader, we're sharing resources, and we have people who are going over there on Saturday nights to be prayer partners and who are praying as a part of their services, and small groups that are part of work teams. And I know that we're not the only church that's doing that for churches like Rethink or Paradox or others. It's an incredible opportunity for us as a district to come up together to realize that we all have a part to play in reaching those 100 new kingdom communities in 10 years. And to think about even the revitalization efforts that are happening at churches like Expansion in Chesterton and other places where churches are realizing that we can do more together than we can apart. To know that there are 3 million people, 3 million reasons in Indiana, and we have a part to play. And no matter how big the church is, no matter how small the church is, there are incredible opportunities around our area to jump in and be a part of, because it's all of us working together that's going to make those 100 communities launch with the wind of the Spirit behind us. And I can tell you the wind is blowing, and we get to capture that and move forward together. It's an incredible time to be a part of the multiplication movement for our district.
My husband John and I planted Waterline Church about 7 years ago in the Noblesville Fishers area. And I actually grew up in this district and have been in many of the churches within our district. And I'm so excited about the multiplication effort that we're putting forward to planting 100 churches in the next 10 years. Our church planting journey was so exciting, and I'm super excited to see that type of multiplication continue to ripple throughout our district and seeing churches and communities and lives change through this mission and this movement.
You know, when I think of the movement of church planting and multiplication, it's just not this thing that's out there in the air. I think of the faces and the names of those people that have been impacted over the years of planting churches and multiplying churches across our district and across our movement as a denomination. Obviously for me, that's incredibly personal. I think of one face and name comes to my mind that 10 years ago, before the river existed, didn't have a relationship with Jesus, and that'd be my older brother, who this past April went to be with Jesus. 10 years ago, he wasn't walking with the Lord, and I planted the church with this idea that we would reach people who were far from God, and little did I know that I'd have the privilege of walking my brother into a life of faith, and then eventually, just a few short years later, see him get married, and then unfortunately have the sad part of saying goodbye, but the hopeful part of helping him experience victory in death and a new life as he walks and talks with Jesus today. I don't think you could ever put a price tag or a value monetarily, or even when it comes to your time, on multiplication, because the lives and the people that will reach and that will continue to be reached across all of Indiana and eventually across our nation and around the world is monumental. And I'm just excited to be able to play a small part in that in our local church as we continue to see people give their life to Jesus.